Alright guys, the Iceman here. This video is uh, basically in reference to Monday night. As we read on the internet late last week throughout the weekend, uh, and we all knew that Raw was going to be in Chicago, and there was rumors out there that CM Punk was going to appear. Even John Cena had made a remark. And when Monday Night Raw started, when CM Punk's music hit, I was like ecstatic. I said, Punk is back. I figured they'd, somehow get him into the main event at WrestleMania and whatnot. And then when Paul Heyman came on, I'm saying, what the heck? I mean, Heyman and obviously Punk, you know, on the entertainment part of the value, you know, as far as the storyline goes, are enemies. And then Heyman did his pipe bomb, and then we found out that CM Punk wasn't to be there. And then I waited throughout the show, figuring, well, maybe Punk will come out at the last minute, and it wasn't to be. The WWE had put out those rumors that Punk was going to be there just for the fact that they were on Raw in Chicago, and they were worried about how the crowd was going to react. And I think to me, that was really totally wrong by the WWE. They did it for their own best interests. As far as the fans go, I'm really starting to believe that the WWE really doesn't care about the fans, because if they did, Daniel Bryan would now be WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And, you know, I was like very, very disappointed watching Raw that CM Punk did not appear. And then I found out later on there was no intentions of CM Punk appearing. CM Punk has stated that he is done with wrestling. And I just, found it appalling that the WWE used his name to, make sure there was no trouble, with the crowd. And the thing also that really bothered me was, Lawler, Cole, and JBL finally mentioned CM Punk's name after, he left. We never heard a word about him. We heard the chants in the crowd. Nobody said nothing. And on Raw, they finally did. And I just found this, the WWE will use anything they can, any way they can, to get what they want, and they did that on Monday night. I'm not saying Raw was a bad show. They definitely got viewers because they put the feelers out there that CM Punk was coming back. So obviously, all those CM Punk fans that were missing Punk over the last 4 weeks or whatever, 5 weeks, were going to tune in. So the ratings obviously had to go up. But to me, this was definitely a wrong thing by the WWE. And like I said, when it comes down to it, the fans are what make the WWE, but it doesn't seem like the WWE really cares what the fans really want. And this really proved it to me. I mean, they just went out of their way to do whatever they could, to avoid a situation, which I do understand, but I think it could have been dealt with in many other ways by, beefing up security and whatnot. But letting the fans going to that show, that attended that show live, thinking that CM Punk was going to be there, was a big total letdown for those WWE fans and CM Punk fans. And I I just don't really I really don't understand, you know, the mind thinking of the WWE. And it's unfortunate too, because I've been a big wrestling fan for over 35 years. And to me, this is the lowest point I've ever really seen wrestling. Granted, I mean, there was some good matches on Raw. The Usos getting the tag team belts from the Outlaws. I thought the Wyatts and the Shield was excellent. I loved the way they did this match. I loved the way they had Seth Rollins, sort of like back away. You know, the only thing I was wondering was I thought it was going to be Roman Reigns that was going to be doing this, so I didn't really understand. They keep changing things up time and time again, but it was actually a very good match. And then the Daniel Bryan Batista match, of course, it always ends up, the same way with Daniel Bryan. Um, if Triple H does face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, like I said, I don't know whether he'll put him over or not, um, or even if even if he does wrestle him, I would think he would have to, because there's really no other place for Bryan unless he goes into the main event and they make it a triple threat. But yeah, But going back to the CM Punk situation, I was, I watched Raw to see CM Punk come back. And like I said, when Paul Heyman came out and did the pipe bomb and acted like, him and Punk were like best buddies, you know, on air. I know they are behind the scenes, but on air, I knew something wasn't right. And then I knew it was going to lead up to the Lesnar ordeal, and as well it did. But yeah, again, um, I don't know. Maybe the WWE Network came out at the right time because um, people can tune in and watch a lot of older stuff, which is far much better than the product that they're putting out now. And I don't know. My future with the WWE remains to be seen, and I just think if the WWE continues to go on this path of having older people come back and take the spotlight away from the younger stars, I think it's going to be eventually a big downfall for the WWE. So I don't know, guys. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. But anyway, it's a Wednesday. Um, that's all I got to say, man. Peace out. Have a great day.